why do we go to see the doctor to give us a chemical when the Bible said the herbs are for the healing? Africa, way over here within America. What happened between hair and hair? A lot happened. You see, when we were hair, without the mathematics, without the ABC, without the sciences, we had something to our advantage that we no longer have here. We are blind hair. Hair we weren't. We were seeing. Why? Because God provided us with everything we needed here. And none of it was comfrey or rice and beans. There were not so full. There were no soy there. There were no cow. And there were no hog. No chicken. There were no flour. Those things didn't come from Africa. You see rice and beans and flour and cheese and meat and the starch that you eat, they all came from right here, from a laboratory. Now, for us to eat, you have to have the understanding of biochemistry. But when we were here, we didn't have to know anything about biochemistry. Why? Because God doesn't make poison. That the great Hippocrates used herbs to cure disease. This man was curing every disease in Greece 365 years before Christ was even born. If Jesus cured with herbs, Hippocrates cured with herbs, and God said the herbs, then what's up? Why aren't we curing with herbs today?
For centuries, one particular herb has been celebrated as a miracle of nature, a natural remedy with the ability to heal the body and restore balance. Yet, in many parts of the world, it's been outright banned. Why? What's so powerful about this herb that it's drawn such intense scrutiny? Could it really be the key to combating inflammation, cleansing toxins, and even reversing chronic diseases? We are talking about Sarsaparilla. And in this video, we're diving deep into the untold story behind Sarsaparilla, why Dr. Sebi championed it as one of his most powerful healing tools, and why powerful institutions may not want you to know its full potential. Is it just a coincidence that this herb has been restricted? Or is there a hidden agenda to suppress its transformative benefits? By the end of this video, you'll discover not only the truth about Sarsaparilla, but also how it could revolutionize your health journey. Stick around. It's time to uncover the secret they don't want you to know. Sarsaparilla might sound like a fancy name, but think of it like nature's soda fountain. If you've ever heard of root beer, chances are you already know Sarsaparilla. It's one of the original flavor inspirations. This plant, often found in tropical regions like South America, Jamaica, Mexico, and the Caribbean, has roots brimming with a unique blend of health benefits and a sweet, spicy flavor that's been cherished for centuries. People used to brew its roots into teas or tonics, not just for the taste, but for its reputed benefits, like supporting healthy skin, easing joint discomfort, and giving the body a gentle detox. Today you might find Sarsaparilla in herbal teas, natural supplements, or even in craft sodas. They believed it could purify the blood, which sounds mystical, but was a big deal back then. So eventually it made its way to Europe, and later became a go-to remedy in the US, even earning a spot in the official United States Pharmacopoeia to treat syphilis. By the 1800s, it was the superstar of patent medicines, advertised as a cure-all for blood and skin issues.
An intracellular cleansing. Self-explanatory. Cleaning every cell that makes up every organ and system that totals the biological you. Meaning cleaning all of you. Not only your colon, like many have decided to do, to concentrate on the colon. No. We concentrate on the whole human body.
Around the same time, it inspired a soft drink that people loved. Funny thing is, those Sarsaparilla drinks weren't even made from the actual plant, but from another one called sassafras. And today, most Sarsaparilla sodas don't have either. They're just flavored to taste like the original. Now, what's so special about this plant? Its roots are packed with plant chemicals called saponins, which might help with all kinds of stuff. They're said to ease joint pain, soothe itchy skin, and fight bacteria. There's some interesting research too. For psoriasis, studies showed that a compound in Sarsaparilla, called sarsapanin, can bind to toxins causing skin lesions and help flush them out. It's also anti-inflammatory, making it handy for arthritis and gout. Scientists have even found it has antimicrobial properties, showing activity against bacteria and fungi in lab tests. And believe it or not, some studies hint that Sarsaparilla might have anti-cancer properties too. It's shown promise in fighting certain types of cancer cells in labs and animal studies, though we're still waiting for more concrete human research. On top of that, it seems to protect the liver, helping it recover from damage in animal tests. Plus, herbalists often use it in blends because it's thought to help other herbs work better by boosting their absorption. People mainly have been swearing by it to keep their blood clean and their bodies running smoothly.
In administering these plants, these compounds, we see that immediately in less than 24 hours our patient is saying, I am already feeling the effect of these medicines or this food. Why? Because they are electrical. So, there is an intracellular cleansing and the revitalizing of the same.
So, here's the deal. Sarsaparilla has these special compounds, stuff like saponins and flavonoids, that are absolute pros at grabbing onto toxins in your body, like heavy metals or the junk left over from bacteria. It's almost like a magnet for bad stuff. Once it latches on, your body can flush it out more easily, which takes a load off your liver and kidneys. Plus, Sarsaparilla also gets your blood moving better. It helps your blood vessels stay healthy and flexible, so blood can flow freely, carrying oxygen and nutrients where they're needed, and picking up trash to toss out. Oh, and let's not forget the lymphatic system. Basically your body's cleanup crew. Sarsaparilla gives it a little nudge to get things flowing, so all the waste and gunk trapped in your cells gets picked up and sent off to be filtered out. It's like a deep cleaning session for your whole body. What's cool is that Sarsaparilla doesn't just stop at cleaning the house. It's also great for keeping inflammation in check, so if you've got things like skin flare-ups, joint pain, or tummy troubles tied to toxin buildup, it's got your back. Because it's packed with compounds that work wonders on inflammation. Got achy joints from arthritis? Sarsaparilla can help calm the swelling and ease that stiffness. And if you're battling pesky skin problems like eczema or psoriasis, this plant might just become your best friend. It helps flush out toxins that often mess with your skin, making those flare-ups less intense. Basically, the roots of it are loaded with stuff that helps fight off bacteria and fungi, so your body is better equipped to handle infections. Plus, it's full of antioxidants, the kind that protect your cells from the wear and tear of everyday life, keeping you feeling younger and healthier. And here's a fun bonus. It might even help balance your hormones. People have been using it for centuries as a natural pick-me-up for their reproductive health, and science is starting to figure out why. It has plant sterols that seem to mimic certain hormones in the body.
Africa has been dying for the last 500 years. The immunological system of the African has been compromised. Look at the diet of the African. None of it is African. Not to mention us. What do? Well, we fix it. We fix it. That was the conversation that I had with my mother before she passed.
So yeah, Sarsaparilla isn't just some old remedy. It's like having a secret weapon for almost everything, be it inflammation, immunity, and overall wellness, all rolled into one humble little root. But the only problem is, Sarsaparilla has faced some bans and restrictions in certain countries, and it all comes down to a pretty sketchy ingredient inside it. Yes, this is shocking to know that even such a useful herb had to be banned. You've probably heard of sassafras, the main component in some sarsaparilla drinks and remedies. The thing is, sassafras contains a compound called safrole, and this is where things get sketchy. Back in the 1960s, the FDA got wind that safrole could cause cancer, at least in animal studies. As a result, they banned safrole from being used in food products, which automatically raised red flags around sarsaparilla, since it often contains this compound. But it doesn't end there. Other health organizations like the European Food Safety Authority and Australia's Therapeutic Goods Administration have also been cautious about sarsaparilla. They've raised concerns about safrole's potential to cause liver damage and other health issues. To make matters worse, sarsaparilla also has some other compounds, like saponins, that might mess with the digestive system if consumed too much. Isn't it quite odd that the herbs which have anti-cancer properties, which can cure liver damage, are suddenly declared cancerous or problematic for the liver? Despite all these warnings, traditional healers and herbalists didn't buy these.
Whenever you make a statement that goes against the grain, you better be prepared. You better be prepared. The judge said that I had to bring one of every patient that I had cured, and there was one that said others. The others was a man that came from Italy. He was paralyzed. But I was supposed to take 9. I took 77.
You took 77 patients in court with you?
That's correct.
They have used sarsaparilla safely for centuries, especially in treating things like psoriasis, arthritis, and kidney problems. For example, legendary herbalist Dr. Sebi was all about using natural herbs to heal the body, and one of his favorites was sarsaparilla. If you don't know him, he was a herbal healing legend from Honduras who cured not only common men, but also legends like Michael Jackson or John Travolta. But here's the twist. He didn't go to medical school or anything like that. Nope, he learned all he knows about healing from his grandma. No fancy textbooks, no classrooms, just the good old wisdom passed down from his grandma, who taught him everything she knew. Dr. Sebi had this belief that most of our health problems come from a buildup of toxins and mucus in the body. He thought that our systems got all out of whack because of this, and that's where sarsaparilla came in.
What was disease? What is disease? Because it seemed to be misinterpreted. Everyone is talking about departmentalizing or individualizing disease. When you have diabetes, it's different from having leukemia. When you have sickle cell anemia, most sin is not like leukemia. They're different. When they are not, they've never been different. They're coming from the same source. The mucous membrane of our biological structure has been compromised, meaning that the mucous membrane has been broken. And wherever that break has taken place, would determine the disease that you would manifest. Like, for instance, like we always say, if the mucous membrane has been compromised in the nasal passage, it is what? Sinusitis. In the bronchial tubes, bronchitis. On the lungs, pneumonia. In the pancreas, diabetes. On the brain, schizophrenia, paranoia, or Parkinson's disease, insomnia, depending where the mucus is located.
He used it to help people with conditions like arthritis, eczema, and psoriasis, stuff that usually comes with inflammation and skin problems. For Dr. Sebi, the key was that sarsaparilla could help detoxify the body by cleaning out the blood and even supporting the liver. He believed that once the body was cleansed, everything could start to work properly again. He also recommended it for things like high blood pressure, diabetes, and respiratory issues, claiming it could help bring everything back into balance. But it wasn't just about cleaning the body. Dr. Sebi loved how sarsaparilla could improve circulation and boost the immune system too. He felt that it didn't just mask the symptoms of illness, but actually went after the root cause, helping to clear out all the junk inside. By doing that, it could prevent disease from taking hold and support the body in staying healthy long term. But the modern medication system simply doesn't want you to do that, because we are living in a world where companies can make tons of money off of something they can keep all to themselves. That's pretty much what the pharmaceutical industry does with synthetic drugs. They make these drugs, patent them, and then they're the only ones who can sell them for a long time. But then, along comes something like sarsaparilla, a natural herb that can't be patented. Well, it's a plant that grows in nature. There's no way to claim exclusive rights to it, so these big drug companies have no way of making the big bucks off of it. Now you might wonder why these companies don't promote sarsaparilla or other herbs. The thing is, there's not much in it for them. If they can't patent a natural herb and corner the market on it, they'd rather push their synthetic drugs that come with a patent, so they can sell them for years and make billions.
If the herbs are for healing, when did it change from the herbs to a carcinogenic chemical? And why? I was arrested. Why was I arrested? Because of the same thing that probably Jesus was hung for, defending what is called righteousness. You could be right, but you could also be dead right.
This isn't some big conspiracy. It's just the way the system works. These companies are set up to make profits, and that means focusing on things that have the potential for massive, long-term returns. But still, nowadays, scientists are starting to look into how it actually works and whether it can live up to the old school claims. Let's talk about psoriasis first. If you've ever struggled with irritated, inflamed skin, Sarsaparilla might have something to offer. The secret seems to be a compound in the plant called astilbin. Research suggests it can help calm down the inflammation that makes psoriasis flare up. Plus, it has antioxidant powers that might help your skin repair and regenerate, keeping it healthier in the long run. Now, if you're dealing with arthritis, Sarsaparilla could also lend a hand. It's got anti-inflammatory compounds that might help ease the pain and swelling in your joints. Studies, mostly in animals, show it can actually reduce those nasty markers of inflammation in the body. While we don't have a ton of human trials just yet, it's a promising start. The big one people are getting excited about lately is its potential to help with cancer. Some early research has shown that Sarsaparilla might slow down the growth of cancer cells and even make them self-destruct in the process. It does this by messing with certain biological pathways that cancer cells rely on to survive. While the animal studies look good, we still need more human trials to see if it really works for us. On top of that, Sarsaparilla is believed to have some detoxing power. It might help protect your liver and kidneys from oxidative stress, which is basically the damage that builds up in your cells over time. That's why it's been used in folk medicine to treat all sorts of stuff, from liver problems to gout. The plant is generally safe, but it's important to remember a couple of things. If you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or on certain medications, like digoxin for heart issues, Sarsaparilla might not be the best choice. Otherwise, it's safe to use. Basically, Sarsaparilla is an herb that's naturally alkaline. So, when you use it, it helps raise your body's pH, making it less acidic. And you know, Dr. Sebi was all about keeping our bodies in an alkaline state, meaning he believed that we should be eating foods and using herbs that help keep our pH levels balanced, or less acidic.
Every disease begins right here. I mean right here. I don't care if you're blind or if you're insane. It's right here. That acid state influences the brain and the central nervous system. It changes the image in your eyes. You do not see with your eyes. Your eyes is only the lens that the brain looks through. And what the brain sees is what you're going to see.
When the body is too acidic, it's like an invitation for disease, inflammation, and all sorts of other health issues to settle in. But when the body is more alkaline, it creates an environment where those harmful things can't thrive. And that's where Sarsaparilla comes in. Plus, it works like a natural cleanser, flushing out toxins and waste through your liver and kidneys. It's like hitting the reset button for your body. And we all know, Dr. Sebi was all about using herbs to help your body do its own healing. So, when you add Sarsaparilla to your routine, you're not just helping balance your body's pH, you're also supporting your organs, boosting your immune system, and creating a healthier environment inside. And that's why, for centuries, indigenous people, especially in Central and South America, have been using it as a natural remedy for all sorts of issues. While some places today have put restrictions on it because of worries about side effects or how it might interact with modern medicine, it's still a go-to herb in many traditional healing practices. People have always believed that Sarsaparilla does wonders for the body, and none of them, so far, ever caught up with cancer due to this. The cool part is that Sarsaparilla isn't just a plant for physical health, it has a spiritual side too. It's often used in rituals and healing ceremonies, where the herb is prepared in specific ways as part of a larger practice. Indigenous cultures didn't just see it as medicine, it was a key part of their whole approach to health and wellness. So, if you're also thinking about adding Sarsaparilla to your routine, avoiding the restrictions, it's a great choice for detox, boosting immunity, and just feeling better overall. First things first, make sure you're getting it from a reliable source. Look for organic or wild-crafted options because you want the cleanest, most natural form. It's a good idea to check if it's been tested by a third party, just to be sure it's free from any bad stuff. And if you're pregnant, nursing, or on medication, definitely talk to a doctor first, as it can interact with certain meds. Once you've got your hands on some, it's pretty easy to use. You can brew it into a tea by simmering the dried root in water for about 20 to 30 minutes. This is perfect for a daily detox drink. If you're not into tea, try adding the powder to smoothies or mixing it with other herbs like turmeric for an extra health kick. For immunity, you can also take it in capsule form, just 1 or 2 a day. Plus, it's awesome for joint health since it helps with inflammation. Just stick with it, and you might start noticing some serious benefits.
My parting word would be this. Make sure that whenever you put something in your mouth, that something is going to complement you and that it's going to serve you well. It's going to support your nervous system. Because if you don't, you will find yourself stressed. Not only are you going to find reasons to dislike me, you're going to dislike yourself. Glucose is the greatest enemy that you could ever be faced with. Avoid it, because the one thing you want to do is to love, and that love should begin with you. Once you love you, you love the whole world. It's easy. It's delicious to love everybody and everything.
So, no wonder Sarsaparilla's healing power is undeniable, yet it remains suppressed in favor of profit. Do you think natural herbs like this should be more accessible? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more health revelations that challenge the status quo. See you soon.